Thank you. And let me tell you, Esther, I've seen no stronger advocate for this than you. So thanks for being here today. Ms. Fingry?
Yeah, thank you for your very strong, well, thank you both, and thank you for different reasons. Thank you for your strong advocacy. I will plead guilty to not completely understanding the technicalities of the FMAP, so I will educate myself overnight on that, and we can have a follow-up conversation, because I do appreciate the work that you're doing, and I am worried that we're dealing with tight budgets here, and we're making cuts no matter what. It was hard enough to get through. 24, 25 is going to be even trickier, and just as you said, everything that we go backwards on is a real loss to healthcare centers like yours, but also tribes all over the country. So thank you. And thank you for filling us in on the challenges of your tribe. It's been a concern of mine for a long time. The communities that are on the edge of the water, I represent the state of Maine, so we know a lot about coastal erosion. We've had some extremely severe storms this winter and seen the level of damage that can happen in, a matter of 24 hours. Everything has changed. And so the fact that you guys are 2 feet away from your sea level maximum, that's really serious. So I hope we can continue to work with you more, and I appreciate your suggestions in that bill. I guess I'm not a co-sponsor, but I'll find out more about it. But I think in the long run, we really need to think about how do we get the levels of funding that you need, because $450 million to move one community, and we've got a lot of communities, multiples of them in Alaska, many I know in your state. Current estimates are something like, $5 billion just to move the communities that we already know have to be moved, and that is our obligation. So I look forward to working with you on that, and I yield back. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Elsey. Ms. McCollum.
I just want to thank you both for your testimony, and, we just need a bigger allocation. We're hoping with our good friend from this committee, a good friend to Indian country, maybe we'll be able to do a little more than we have in the past. But I've learned not to make promises I can't keep, because you're dealing with hundreds of years of broken promises.
Yeah. Again, I'd just like to express my appreciation for you being here, particularly for the newer members of this committee. I think it's extremely valuable to hear from you. So thanks for making the commitment to be here.
Mr. Kilmer.
Thank you, Chairman. I want to start by formally inviting you to the 6th Congressional District of Washington. There we go. Actually, though, I also want to thank you, Chairman, for being a co-lead on the TERRA Act. It's rare for someone from Montana to sign on to a bill that's focused on helping coastal tribes relocate.
If I was from Montana,
Idaho.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Idaho. I knew that.
One of those.
Excuse me.
Maybe you can get Zinke on it.
Yeah, I should try to get Zinke on it. But it says a lot of his approach to these issues that, even though it doesn't impact his community, it impacts our country and it impacts your tribe, and therefore he signed on to it. And that's a testament to his leadership. Chairman Swanson, can you just say a little bit more about the sort of morass of when you're dealing with all of these different agencies, different sets of rules, different timelines, different matching requirements, what it has meant to you and your ability to execute relocation versus if we actually pass something like the TERRA Act, what it would mean in terms of your ability to get things done?
Yeah, so in the last year, we've received several different pieces of funding, $25 million through the Department of Transportation to put in a road to our new community, $6.2 million through HUD to build several townhouses, as well as $1.2 million through EDA to develop a master plan. HUD has given us 3 years to expend those funds. DOT has given us 8 years to expend those funds. From the time that HUD actually awarded us the money to expend and the time that we had it in our account to expend was about 3 weeks. We still have yet to be able to expend the DOT funding, and that's been 8 or 9 months now. And so these timelines don't really coincide well with each other. So we just awarded a contract to develop our master plan. We have 2 years to expend that. And it's really just been a piecemealing effort, trying to cut through a lot of red tape, trying to jump through hoops. We received some funding, pass-through funding through IHS that wasn't able to touch HUD funding, and so we had to mitigate that. And so we're really hoping that Terra would be able to allow us to better piecemeal this funding and actually execute in a timely fashion without going through all these barriers.
I appreciate that, and would love to invite my colleagues to take a look at that bill. We'll make sure you all see copies of what it does. And to me, this is a good government bill. It's government efficiency, right? Let's not waste people's time and money by having different sets of rules and regulations. Let's try to have some clarity to it. Esther, thank you for your good words, and I think you're right. You're a terrific investment. You do a lot with a little. Can you tell, one, what do you if we fund the urban Indian health at the requested level, what does it mean for the communities you serve, and what does it mean if we don't?
Well, I can tell you that for the 2-year pilot, it resulted in $11 million. And that is why we were able to purchase a building, to be able to expand those services. Mm-hmm. So if you think about that investment going right back into communities, right, and what kind of dent that makes in to, our ask to get to full funding, that's significant. Yeah. The other thing is, because we're leaders in this effort, we are looking forward to sharing with our tribal partners, right, how you build it into the electronic health record system. I'm thinking about our movement, like we were the first urban Indian health program to become a federally qualified health center. And we were told that you couldn't build in traditional Indian medicine into the system. Well, we've proven that's wrong. We actually have 3 managed care organizations who have agreed to pay for it as a value-added benefit. We have one that's completely tested it in the system, and it works. It works. So if you want to reduce suicide in our communities, put a number on that.
Yeah.
Put a number on that.
Thank you. I yield back to the gentleman from Idaho.
Thank you, and thank you both for being here. And I will tell you, as has been said, last year was an ugly budget year. I understand why it was. We were overspending, we felt, and you look at the national debt and a few things like that, and we felt like we had to reduce spending. Now, we're never going to get rid of all the national debt by just cutting and cutting and cutting. But I suspect, and I told you last year, we're not going to go back. I will tell you it's going to be an uglier year this year. We're still not going to go back. Okay? Appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. Panel 23, Abigail Echo-Hawk, Guy Capoeman, Ed Johnston, and